What's up, this is David, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Freedom Castle, what I like to refer to as the castle method. And I believe it's one of the best ways to sell high-ticket coaching or high-ticket products. So James Kemp, he once said that 90% of people who became clients that invested anywhere from $3,000 to $39,000 had bought a training or workshop from me, which means that 90% of his clients bought a smaller thing before they bought the big thing, before they bought the main thing, right? And so one of the most efficient ways of getting a high ticket client without doing sales calls, by the way, is to sell them something smaller first. Okay, maybe before your $5,000 thing, your $10,000 thing, we can sell them something smaller, like a $100 workshop or like a $99 course, or maybe like a $297 thing, right? And I refer to this as the castle method. So here's the thing. In the past, what we had people do, especially on the sales calls, right? Especially for our high ticket products, our coaching products, is we were asking for people to take like this big leap, right? So there are like some people, maybe they're leads or prospects or whatever. Maybe they saw like a video or two of yours, and then you have like a book to call link. I mean, what we try to do is sell them right away to like this high ticket thing, like a $10,000 thing, right? And that is a big ask if you really think about it. It's like, okay, this person barely knows you, and then they booked a call, and then now you have a meeting, you meet them for like 30 minutes, and you're asking them to hand you over $10,000, you know what I mean? So a better way, and there, there's different terminologies for this. I just came up with, the Freedom Castle because like it kind of looks like a castle, you know what I mean? A better way and a more efficient way, in my opinion, is to have them take steps. Have them take steps. So before the big thing, maybe you can introduce them to like $100 workshop. Okay, because the thing about people want to just try things before they invest in like a bigger thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to try out your $100 thing to see if the $10,000 thing makes sense. It just makes common sense, right? But we gotta like think about it logically, okay? Especially from our prospect's perspective. And then maybe they thought your $100 workshop was really good, so they become a community member where you're charging $200, and they thought your stuff is really good, and then maybe finally they become like a group member, or maybe they become like the one-on-one client, right? This way you're having them take steps versus having to take this big ass leap, and they might not take that big ass leap right from the beginning. To be fair, some will, right? Some people will, but not all of them. Majority of them won't, right? So the faster you make this divide, by the way, between buyer and non-buyer, the quicker you can take those one-time buyers into high-ticket clients, by the way. And I just like to call this the Freedom Castle, the castle method. Like we have like a beautiful picture of a castle there, right? And this way, we're also building on solid foundations, by the way. Solid foundations. We're building a like a marketing-based business versus like a sales-heavy and sales-emphasis-based business. Because if we're relying on the sales, we're leaning so much on the sales, it's like once we get rid of like the sales team or like the sales process, it like collapses, right? That's why we are building a more solid base around marketing, okay? So, some people on your list, maybe most, if you're not targeting correctly, they're never going to buy, right? So a great way to divide them is to, because some people say like all the time, like, hey, I'll buy it someday, or like people say when the time is right, I'll buy it, or people like fill in the blank excuse maker, right? But by offering a smaller offer, it can be like anything small, like $7 or $20, whatever. You're not wasting time trying to chase, follow, re-invite, like nurture, or like, using arm twisting psychological tricks to try to friggin' make a sale during the sales call, right? So it kind of looks like this. We know the classic like bell curve, right? So some people are here, and these are like the instant buyers, right? And yes, some people will buy the high ticket stuff really quickly. But with the sales call process, we are only optimizing for the instant buyers, because majority of the people that I find anyway, they lie here. They lie here, and these are more of like the gradual buyers. Okay, these are like the more gradual buyers, and of course we have this section over here. These people are never buyers. Okay, never buyers. So we want to remove these people, and in terms of efficiency, optimize for these people, right? And by the way, like once we optimize for these people will also likely be included anyways. So that's like, we're being more efficient. We're optimizing because with like a sales call, what we're trying to do is we're trying to optimize for these people, the instant buyers, but not all people are instant buyers. Okay. So instead, what we're trying to do is optimize for this, the majority. Okay. That way we become more efficient, right? And like I said, like when we target this will usually be included. Okay. So we're not wasting time with like this non-buyer people. Okay. And we got to have an abundance mindset. We got to let go of the people that were never going to buy anyways, right? Like a simple no is like 1,000 times, like maybe like more than a maybe, right? So instead of spending so much time using sales tactics and tricks and magical phrases to get someone to buy, especially on a sales call, it's an inefficient waste of time for both us and future clients. So we spend time with our actual clients, and we can do that by offering something smaller, right? So our energy doesn't go to waste. And so another view of this, the Freedom Castle, is kind of like this. And this is, it kind of looks like a castle, right? So we have like training, and then everybody above this world here, they get the same content. Or, I mean, you can have some gated content here and there, but most of them are getting the same exact content, right? Now, what you're doing is you are just charging for proximity, okay? Like proximity. And you're charging more for closer proximity. So your one-on-ones, you charge more. And then, of course, you have the group and the community, you're charging a little bit less, okay? So it's a lesson in efficiency, right? Because you're not creating anything extra. Okay, you're just charging more for closer proximity to you. So this is in combination with ascension. Okay, and this idea isn't anything new, right? There's many different terms for this, like value ladder, ascension, whatever. But that in combination with the ascension model, where you're having them take steps, this is the Freedom Castle. Right, what I like to call the Freedom Castle and the Castle Method. So with the Freedom Castle, you're just extracting out more efficiency from the business, having people take steps. It's a great way to get high ticket clients. And in fact, if you really think about it, the best way to get high ticket clients might be to sell them something small, right? Getting them over that money line and having them turn into a buyer as quickly as you can, right? To kind of like show who's serious and who's not. So that is how you can build, a beautiful world filled with castles and digital empires and skyscrapers, and doing it with more profits and more freedom, my friend. So if you are an established online coach and want to learn more about reimagining your high-ticket coaching business in a totally different way, selling without sales calls, by the way, in a more efficient manner with more freedom and profits, in my opinion, and then please watch this video for more content like this, and please subscribe for more content like this. I think the content I can provide is super fun, relatable, and can help you get more clients, which results in more profits and more freedom in your high-ticket coaching business. I'll talk to you in the next one.